It's almost midnight, Watchers. Are you ready to join the Midnight Watchers to talk about their favorite strange and scary movies?
Welcome. This is Koji.
It's Quentin.
And it's Jennifer.
And a third time is a charm on the opening. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. It's been a little bit of time since we last met. As everyone knows, we're kind of doing it every other week schedule. So this is going to be the first time that we're doing for the new schedule. How's everyone
We released
doing?
up to we released 10 already, right?
Yeah, this is episode 11. Yes,
11,
episode
okay.
11. Yeah, so we've done 10 already, which is really great. We've done 10, and we've got a lot of really great reviews, as Jennifer said last time, and we've got a lot of people following us on social media. So we're really excited that this is moving forward.
What movies do people want to see?
Yeah, we like your recommendations. I know Brandon, Linus, Patrick were friends of mine that have recommended movies. I'm sure you guys have had some as well. So we love that because we're learning as well as cinephiles about new movies. And yeah, we want to spread the word for these cool sort of off the beaten path movies that maybe don't get the light
Exactly.
of day. Mm-hmm.
And this week we're going to be talking about a Thai film, 2004, called Shutter, which I saw on Netflix, but I think you can see it on Vudu and Netflix. Where did you guys see the movie on?
Netflix. But I saw
Same.
I think I saw it. Might have seen it in the theater back in the days. I don't think so. No, I think I saw it on DVD back a while back.
Back when DVDs were a thing.
2004, right? Was it 2004?
Yeah, 2004. So let me read a little bit about what the movie is, and then that way everyone could be with us. After hitting a young woman with her car, Jane and her photographer boyfriend, Toon, begin seeing a shadowy figure haunting the background of Toon's photographs. Concerned that the figure is the vengeful spirit of the young woman from the accident, Jane does some research and soon discovers the girl was named Natre and had been a classmate of Toon's. As the haunting continues, Jane uncovers a shocking secret. So this was originally released in Thailand on September 9th, 2004. These names are super hard, but the directors
Yeah, you don't have to say it.
Okay,
Just say the director. What is the director's name?
Banjung Pisathanakun. The film opened number one in the box office in Thailand with 867,000. It was the fifth highest grossing film of that year. It won the Golden Kinri Award in Bangkok International, and it's done really, really well. So let me just first say,
is it 2008 or 2000? Oh, the remake is 2008.
The remake was 2008, yeah. Let me just say, this was my favorite movie we've watched so far. I'm just super excited about this movie. But Quentin, tell us why I think it was you who recommended this movie. Why did you recommend this movie?
Because you guys were saying that you wanted to watch more Asian horror films, and actually, so Shutter is actually the first Thai movie that rebooted the whole industry. Actually, no, it's Natthaweeranuch was before. Natthaweeranuch rebooted it a while back, but Shutter was the one that really rebooted created this whole kind of new wave Thai horror films that keeps getting remade in the US. So Shutter was remade in 2008, and then my friend Peter Chan actually produced The Eye. So The Eye was it's produced by a Hong Kong producer, but so anyway, so Peter has my ex-boss has a very interesting background. He's Chinese, but he's from Thailand, so he also worked with the Pang brothers. So he basically brought the Pang brothers to Hong Kong, I think, to make The Eye. But it's sort of into Hong Kong Thai kind of movie. So The Eye got remade with Jessica Alba. And so that began the whole remake of these Asian horror films. Because back before that was a huge remake wave, was the Japanese horror films, right? The Ringu and The Grudge. Those are and then a couple more. And then it became Thai. Actually, and then it was Korea. And then Thai kind of joined this remake wave from remaking these movies from Asia.
Jennifer, what did you think of this movie?
Yeah, I can't believe this is the only Thai movie I've ever seen. I think I have the DVD for that big hit Beautiful Boxer, I think it was what it was called. I think that was given to me as a gift, and I'd never watched it. So this is my first time watching a Thai movie. And I have to say, I think it's also one of my favorites for the whole series we've done so far for Midnight Watchers. And in recent memory, it's got to be one of my most favorite horror movies.
You haven't seen The Eye?
I never did see The Eye, the remake
Okay.
nor the original. So maybe we'll
That's
do that
decent,
one
yeah.
soon.
The remake I never saw it, but I think the original was
Yeah.
interesting. But but I think it was also it was directed by the Pang brothers, and part of the movie was set in Thailand, but it's mostly set in Hong Kong. It's very strange.
The
Because it was a Hong Kong, it was a kind of like cross Asian movie. So
can I
basically, in the 2000s, it's actually anyway. So I worked for this director Peter Chan, who was a Hong Kong producer director when he was making his Hollywood film called The Love Letter. Then he went back to Hong Kong and started this company called Plus Pictures, and his goal was to make kind of like these cross Asian films, because his background that he's a Chinese guy, grew up in Thailand. So he realized that he wants to reunite this whole Asian territory, and then, so The Eye was one of these things.
Yeah, I love The Eye. That was like one of my favorite movies. The Jessica Alba version wasn't nearly as good, but it was interesting. But one thing about this movie that really threw me off was that the female lead looked exactly like my ex-girlfriend. And it was so disconcerting because when I was watching it, the whole time I just thought, and this is a girl that I like dated for like 9 years, 10 years of my life. And so I was just freaking out. And then that, like, for a week I had dreams about this girl because of this.
You mean the ghost girl or the whatever?
No,
real girlfriend.
the real girlfriend, the one that discovers everything. But it was freaking me out because she like her mannerisms and the way she talked and everything was just very much like my ex-girlfriend. My ex-girlfriend was Vietnamese, so I don't know why I thought they looked alike, but they definitely looked alike, and I was like freaking out during the whole movie. But what was the kind of, Quentin, you rewatched it, right, for this?
Yeah, it's funny because I was hoping that I don't have to rewatch it and remember the film, but I definitely seen the film a couple of times, and I did not recall anything from it. So I rewatched it. I realized, oh, that's why, because I guess like I'm really good at memorizing concepts, and it feels kind of high concept in the beginning, but then at the end you feel like, okay, it's just another ghost kind of thing. So it's a little bit disappointing. I mean, it's not that it's not well done. I think for what it is really well done. But I was expecting that, oh, maybe like there's a high, like in The Ring, right? It's very high concept. Like you see the photos and people start dying, right? Then here, this right at the end, it's just like, oh, it turns out that you think that it's the act, because you think he caused the accident, or you think that whoever that he killed actually was coming back after him, right? But it got sidetracked into that, oh, actually that was a ghost that he ran over, and it was his ex-girlfriend. So I felt like, okay. And I don't know, it's a little bit scary at the end, I think, with the girl chasing after him, but and also the girl kind of holding on to him at the. But I was expecting something a little bit higher concept, because it started with a very high concept premise, but somehow it's just, oh, okay, it's ghost of his ex-girlfriend.
Jennifer, what did you think?
I had no context, so I had no idea what the plot was. I just had been told by a friend that it was really, really scary. And so also that point where you realize she was like already dead and it was a ghost and it was the ex-girlfriend. Yeah, because up until that point it was a total mystery, like I think the first half. And so I was super intrigued and my mind was going all these different places. I wanted to know who she was. So yeah, I do agree maybe that the story turns at a point and I'm not as I guess as freaked out because the mystery's gone. You already know what's happening, but it's still so scary. It was just a really, really great horror movie. Freaking scary. Like I had my eyes watered, at points. I was genuinely scared. And for me, as I'm watching these guys, I realize one of my favorite parts about horror movies when we're watching scary psychological thrillers and horrors is when is the first time you see the horrifying thing, the supernatural thing, the killer, because how the movie showcases that or hints at that the very first time is always really telling for me, and I feel like that is important to me. So the first scare I get and how it's told and how it's shown is really important. And I thought with Shudder, I felt like this was just a movie that could have only been done at that time. Really, if you look at the year 2004, right, that was kind of right when smartphones and digital cameras were becoming really, really commonplace. And unless you did a period piece, I thought this was just one of those like moments in time. They made this movie about, you know, film and developing. It was just I think it's a masterpiece of horror.
I
Yeah.
have two
I
things. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Quentin.
so I think I think, do you think photographers still do like if you're like a photo, what do you call those,
Journalist?
photo nuts, do you still process your own films? I think they still do, right?
I don't think so. Almost everyone I
So
know
you
who's a
mean everybody
photographer,
just do digital still? But
digital.
I think when
Yeah.
you learn photography, you still
Yeah.
have to process your own films, right?
Yeah. I think that's part of it. Yeah. But to me, the two things that I really, that I really took from this was, one was the ending image where the girl is sitting on his shoulder. First of all, it's such an Asian thing to have like a ghost literally kind of sitting on top of you and being like his weight. And I just love that image of her. But the second thing I do want to mention is, the running theme through every movie we've seen so far is a rape. And I thought this movie, there would not be a single rape, but it turns out there was a rape because the ex-girlfriend gets raped by the guy's friends who were bullying her, and then eventually just ended up raping her. So this continues our streak of movies where a woman gets brutalized somewhere in the movie.
Yeah, so I the only thing is I just felt very misled by this accident, because you really do see him at the beginning kind of like hitting this body, right? And then you saw him hitting this body, and then
Well, the girlfriend hits the body, right? The girlfriend hits the body 'cause she's driving, isn't she? Or is the guy driving?
I couldn't remember. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you see him hitting, you see him hitting this body, and you think it's actually a real person, and then it turns out it's a ghost. And I think that always bugged me. And also, what's not very clear was that, I guess what's not also very clear for me that you think about the movie was, at the end he was at the wedding reception. Do you know that? So it opens with him at the wedding reception, hanging out with his friends, and all his friends, of course, raped this girl and killed her. Not killed her, but she just raped her, and then she went back home and then committed suicide, right? At home, I think, or somewhere. And then I'm not really sure what set off this haunting. I thought that what set off the haunting was him running into somebody, right? And then it turned out to be, oh no, actually he ran into this ghost, and somehow maybe this woman just killed herself, and that's why she came back and haunt these three guys, and also and each of these three guys also had the same problem, right? Because with the girl, they eventually jumped off the building, right? Each of the three guys. But so some of that is not very clear. I think that I wish, like, yeah, some of that it's more contextualized, or we don't really need it. So we don't really need. I mean, the whole thing is we don't really need to know all these three guys also died, and then it went to him. Did
Yep.
you guys get that?
Yeah, but it led to the bullying part. But I agree with you in that I would have loved to have seen like the girl sitting on him, not earlier, but having that weight on him, or that kind of this, like seeing the effect of it. That, like, for example, I kept wondering why she wasn't already doing that before. And
She was. I don't think she was doing that before until he became crazy, because she wasn't doing it before until almost the last time that she's looking for her, right? And realize, oh, she's actually sitting on him.
But wouldn't she just be like following him the whole time after she died?
Well, and that's why you saw these images in the photographs, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, she was just around then.
They're just around, and then she's basically haunting each of her friends until they die, and then the last person that she's haunting is him.
Jennifer, you were going to jump in. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I think. Were you saying, Quentin, why does she zero in on him more so than the other guys that were involved with the?
No, I guess I was just a little bit confused with they weren't very clear about. It wasn't very clear that all those three guys also died, because and somehow it got passed to him, and you're not really sure his assistant is actually also one of those friends. Do you know that?
I could see that, right?
His assistant was also one of the friends,
Mm-hmm.
and then ends up killing himself. but I guess some of the stuff is just not connected that they were actually friends or at that wedding thing in the beginning.
Yeah, I was confused. I didn't even remember the wedding thing until I had to rewatch that first part because I was like, oh, okay, there's a wedding and they're talking. Like I didn't even, by the time we got to the part where they revealed the friends, I didn't even realize he had friends because it's such a story. You're right. It was such a story about like the person they hit on the street, and all of a sudden it kind of veers into like his friends and they start dying. And then this whole bullying story happens. But yeah, that was confusing. I agree with you on that one, Quentin. Definitely.
I did enjoy the film in the beginning. I mean, like when I watch it, you feel like, okay, Thailand hasn't really made a movie like that. Maybe other than Natthaweeranuch. I think Natthaweeranuch is what year? Czech. But yeah, so it's kind of like really. But then there's all these little things that you're like, oh, okay, right.
Jennifer, what are you thinking about right now? You look
yeah. I think once you figure out who she is and what she's there for, it kind of, it's not as perfect of a movie as I think when the mystery is still there and you're not quite sure, who she is or what she is. So, I mean, I think what we're talking about here is it as powerful because she committed suicide? So because she committed suicide, because something that those guys did and her ex-boyfriend did, then she's a ghost. So she comes back to haunt because I guess her suicide was caused by their sexual assault. So yeah, I think it would be more powerful if it was like she was unjustly killed or murdered. Like,
and also why she haunts the camera is because the guys actually made, so that's also is not very clear. But because why she haunts that camera is because the guy, when he comes in and see his friends like raping her, is that the guys made him take photographs.
That's what I think.
The rape, so that it would shame her, so that they would have this negative. They would have the negative up to shame her, right?
Well, it was also because she gave him the camera, right? That was her gift to him.
What?
Oh.
Right?
Really?
Because she bought him, because they were looking, there's that scene where they're looking at the camera and then later she gives him that camera. So I think it's
I didn't know that.
I think it's the camera itself is the reason, because he couldn't be the photographer without her giving him.
I missed that. I didn't see that.
This expensive camera.
When
they were dating, they show them like a part of it that's what he wanted. Now he's a photographer
because of her.
And then he threw her away when
But I thought they made him. So that's one thing, because I guess for like again, like in society where women are not totally shamed because of nudity or whatever, right? So if you take photographs of your friends raping a woman, to blackmail the woman would leak it out, but that would be collecting evidence, right? But from the guy's mind in that society at that moment, that if you take photographs of this nude woman being raped and you actually hold a chip against her, because she would be afraid that you release that because it would be shameful to her. So the rape is actually, so that's a little bit of a cultural thing that I found out, which I didn't quite get, was because the guy said, oh yeah, come on, you have to take photograph of this, so that she wouldn't say anything, right? But if you were put in the American context where this woman is being raped and you tell her friend, okay, please take photograph of her so that she won't say anything. Of course, you're basically
like, yes,
collecting evidence.
Right.
So it's
that's a good point.
It's also about like how we perceive, how a culture perceives, like, shaming a woman because of the rape. It's like, it's that, how bad. I mean, what would you do as a woman if you're like, if you're laying there and then, you know what I mean? In America, you say, yeah, you want these evidence, right? You want to have this collected, No,
it is. It's more powerful. It's more damaging for her because of the evidence, because of the cultural context. That's a great point. So that drives her even further to haunt, to commit suicide. So yeah. What else about the movie?
What was your favorite part, Jennifer? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part, I don't know. I guess probably just her the reveal, like just figuring out like her I guess not the reveal, seeing her in her like ghostly form, you know, as she's developed over the movie. That I think was cool, the way it was done. And that's probably my favorite part. I don't know, that's probably my favorite part. I loved everything about it. It was really beautifully shot, and I loved the acting. The performances were also great.
Was the guy Hapa?
Yeah,
I know, I don't know.
There's Thai models actually. So Thailand, if you're Hapa, you actually always they pick a lot of like Hapa stars because they kind of like mix people. But it's just like in Japan.
Yeah, Japan has a lot of Hapa as well.
Thailand is like that. Thailand likes that. So a lot of the mixed Thai people are actually, you know, are always like basically
celebrities.
Not celebrities, but they're like, you know, they're always picked to be actors or something. So I'm not sure you know this chain called Noodle World. Yeah. Noodle Planet, Noodle World.
I know Noodle World.
The lead, the owner of Noodle World, actually, he started his first store in Westwood in 1990, I would say 95 or something. Then I was the one that would go, and I took all my UCLA friends to go eat there. And he's actually half Hapa and he's half Thai. And he was an actor in Thailand. And somehow I got him to let me shoot at his restaurants for several films.
For which one? For which ones?
I think Drift was shot there. Shopping for Fangs, we shot something there. I forgot what. But it's
Shopping for Fangs, really? Oh, okay.
I always kind of chat him out. Make me shoot my films there.
That's hilarious.
So he was a big celebrity actor who now owns Noodle World chain?
I think he was a celebrity actor, and he's Hapa too. He's half Thai and half. He's a good-looking guy. Very nice.
Yeah, I thought this actor guy was very good looking.
Yeah, I thought the girl was good looking as well. That's why I was like, "Whoa, she looks like her." Sorry.
I don't think none of them are good looking. To be honest, right. I don't think the two girls are good looking. The ghost looks very frumpy all the time.
Well, the ghost. But the ghost herself she was being made fun of, right? That was the whole point, was that he was ashamed of her.
No, but she looks too frumpy, so he doesn't, you know. But he was the lead girl is also kind of frumpy. She's going, wow, 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 like, and the guy is kind of okay because I didn't like the guy because I don't know why he would tell his girlfriend to hit and run. Well, I mean, that's just not a very. I mean, I don't think that's a responsible thing to do.
I think it's more people freak out. It's because they were drinking too, and I think that they when people are drinking and they freak out, and then you know people do stupid stuff during that time, and they're not thinking straight. They just do it. I think that's kind of that's a common trope, right? People do that. But thank you guys so much for everybody for listening. I think we're at the end of this episode. So, you know, again, like we said at the beginning, if you have a movie that you think we should be watching, a movie that we should be watching, please let us know. This is, we'd love to keep watching other stuff that we've never heard, stuff we've never seen. You know, come to our Facebook and our Instagram pages. We're Midnight Watchers Pod on both of those. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review. And if you review, it would be great. Come on our social medias and tell us we reviewed, and we'd love to see it because those reviews are really, really important to us. Jennifer, Quentin, do you have anything you guys want to say?
No, I think I should. I want to recommend watching this other Thai horror movie called 13. I think maybe you have seen it already.
I've seen it. I love 13.
Yeah, 13. Yeah. I thought was pretty good.
We should watch that one for sure.
But it got remade actually in the U.S. called God's Little Monsters or something. It just did not do well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jennifer, do you have any shout outs or anything you want to say before we leave?
I check those reviews every few weeks. I check on the Apple Podcast, iTunes. So I'll be looking, guys. And thank you so much for listening and supporting and growing our audience for those of you tuning in.
Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Quentin. Thank you, Jennifer. Bye.
Bye-bye.